Okay, here's example 3. Okay, write a quadratic function to model a situation. A rancher has 100 meters of fencing available to build a rectangular corral. Write a quadratic function in standard form to represent the area of the corral. Okay, so it's going to have a length and a width. Okay, we know that we're going to find the area by multiplying the length times the width, and we know that the length and the width have to add up to 100. Okay, so we can assume here we'll just, sorry, not the length and the width add up to 100, but twice the length plus twice the width, right? That's the perimeter formula. Okay, 2L plus 2W. Okay, so we know that that has to add up to 100. Okay, that's good. Now we want to have them expressed in terms of the same variable. Okay, so let's take that and we will solve for L. Okay, so 2L equals 100 minus 2W. Okay, for L, if we divide everything by 2 equals 50 minus W. Okay, so L equals 50 minus W. All right, so if instead we want to call them X, let's let X equal the width. Okay, and then 50 minus X is going to be the length. All right, so the area is equal to the length times the width. And the area, we don't actually know the area. Okay, that's a variable. So area equals X times 50 minus X, right? The width times the length. Okay, so 50X minus X squared is the area. Okay, and if you want to write it in standard quadratic form, it's negative X squared plus 50X. And our constant term there, or C value, is equal to 0. Okay. So that is a standard form quadratic equation that models the area of the corral. Okay, and since that is a quadratic equation that opens down, okay, it has a y-intercept of 0, so you know that it's going to have a maximum, okay, and because it opens down, okay, and P and Q are going to be the coordinates of that, okay. So we're just going to use that formula that it told us, okay. We had that formula, P is equal to negative B over 2A. Okay, it's just an expression that you can use. So B is 50. Okay, I forgot the negative in front, so I added it in there. So P is negative B over 2A, so B is 50, so negative 50 over 2 times negative 1 equals 25. Okay, so the x-coordinate of our vertex is going to be 25. You can find Q in one of two ways. You can substitute 25 in for x, because the y-coordinate here is the area, right? So you can substitute 25 into the equation, go negative 25 squared plus 50 times 25, okay? So negative 625 plus 1250 equals 625, okay? Because the x-coordinate is the width and the y-coordinate is the area that results. Okay, the other thing you could do is use the little formula for Q that we came up with in the lesson. Okay. So the width is 25, the area is 625. Obviously the length, because it's 50 minus the width, also has to be 25. Okay, so a square 25 by 25 corral gives you that maximum area of 625 meters squared, which is what we were trying to find. Okay, so if we graph that, we're going to see that it starts at the origin. Okay, it goes up, reaching its maximum at the points 25 and 625. Okay, that doesn't look like a 2, but I'll fix it, I think. Okay, and because of the symmetry of it, you know that the other x-intercept is going to be, if it's 25 meters from one x-intercept to the vertex, it's going to be 25 meters from the vertex to the other one. Okay, so that vertex is going to be halfway between them. Okay, so that's the whole graph for everything, every length or width value, okay, between 0 and 50. Okay, the domain that makes sense here is values of x between 0 and 50. Okay. Okay, and so any length that can be in between the integers, so you can definitely say x is an element of the set of real numbers here. All right, the range, that's going to be the area. Okay, so any area between 0 and 625. Okay, and you really kind of have to ask yourself what values do make sense, because it really, I mean, a length, or sorry, a width of 0 or even, 0.25 meters doesn't really make sense, right? And I mean, it doesn't even make sense in terms of the width of the wood fencing. Now, if you want to think about what actually makes sense in terms of a rectangular corral, like would it make sense to have a 1 by 49 corral, and then you get a total of 49 square feet when you could have 625, things like that. But mathematically, I guess that would be the domain and the range. Okay. So it does ask you which values make sense, but it doesn't necessarily expect you to look into the farmer's head.